Hi everybody, welcome to Glowing Card Gaming, and I got a special one, and I think probably most of you have probably heard about this, but I wanted to comment on it as well. There was a user by the name of Blue Scuti who just beat Tetris, technically. Got to the kill screen and froze the game because he got so far into it. I can't remember what the level is, but it gets really crazy because the color schemes start not repeating and becoming very random, um, and like some goofy things start happening, um, and the bricks are falling. I think they stop speeding up at level 29, so that's as fast as they're gonna fall. So for the remainder of the levels on, they fall at that rate. But I know he posted um, his run. He was streaming that, and I'll try and find that and post a link um, below this video for that. So be sure to check that out and look. You can watch the entire run. The way they're doing it is a combination of what they call rolling and hyper tapping. So hyper tapping is where you just tap the left and right, as fast as you can. Um, but even that's not fast enough. So what they'll do is they'll put their finger over the button and they'll use the other hand to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fingers across, and that will tap the controller into the button 5 times very rapidly. So then you can shift and turn the blocks very rapidly as you need to. And that allows them to fill the blocks in the positions that they need to get them to go past the levels that supposedly couldn't get nobody could get past um, all those years ago. Now, the reason why I'm kind of talking about this is I myself am no stranger to Tetris, and I don't think a lot of gamers are. I had a Game Boy way back um, in the 80s, 90s, whenever they first came out, and it came with Tetris. So I started there, but I also went and played in the Nintendo World Championships in 1989, and I was a semifinalist there. Um, I got seventh overall. I'm sorry, I got fourth overall. I was thinking the top seven of us went up on stage, and then I thought I'd missed going to Florida for the finals by one. I thought they took the top three, but as I was watching certain videos and stuff that were covering that way back in the day, um, turns out that they only took the top position. So I thought I was fourth. I thought it was next in line to go with the top three. And I thought that for years and years and years until like a year or two ago when I saw something on that. And then uh, they only took the top person, so I wasn't that close. I thought I was next in line, but no, 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 thank you. Um, but yeah, so I have a lot of experience with Tetris, and I even have bought several versions of Tetris since then, and the latest one, the Tetris Effect. Highly recommend for those who are fans of the game. It's very unique. There are several different game versions that you can play through that, so I would recommend doing that. But did want to give a shout out to Blue Scooty, 13 years old, first man to ever beat Tetris. I think the level is like 179. 175 is the first. It's 177 because 175 is the first kill screen you can get to. I think, but he misses it because he needs a single line. How you do it is when you're on 174, you're getting ready to go to 175. If you get a single line, then you get the kill screen. But instead of doing that, he actually just gets a triple, 3 lines, and that does not activate that. So his next possible one is 2 levels later on 177. So he goes and gets to 177, and he's starting to have a little problem. I highly recommend going and watch the video. It's great because you can tell he knows what he has to do, because at 175 he gets that triple. A moment later he's like, "Oh, I missed it." You can hear him say that, and like, "Oh no." And at first I was like, "What? I don't understand." But it wasn't until I started watching all this stuff and researching this that, yeah, he missed it because he didn't get the single line. He got the triple to get him into the next to that level. So then it was like he had to get another, just a single line on, I think it was level 177, and that's not even a guaranteed. It's like a 70% chance that that will happen, but it does. And then he's officially the first person to ever get the kill screen and beat Tetris. I say that in quotes because Tetris really isn't a beatable game, and there are ways to actually continue playing the game. Um, I mean, they outline like what the percentage of the kill screens are and what levels it goes up to. I think the game goes up to level 255. So the next real achievement for Tetris and the community, I think, is getting the game to roll all the way back down to level 0, which is what happens once you get past level 255. The game, I mean, your stacks are still all there, but you roll over and it starts over at 0, and the speed changes back down to that 0 level. And I think the first time somebody does that, there really won't be anything left to prove in the game, in my opinion. I mean, how many times you can roll that over, maybe? If you do it 2 or 3, 5 times. I don't know how many times somebody can roll that over. 10? I mean, it's limitless. And once you do it once, or even if you were to roll it over twice, and you prove that you can go all the way through level 255, avoid the kill screens, and get back to 0 twice, there really is. I mean, you've proven you can do it. At that point, you could do it as many times as you want. And yes, is it possible you screw up somewhere, you get tired? Yeah, it might be an endurance thing. But I mean, at that point, it's just going to be how many times. What the record will always be, how far somebody could go without getting a kill screen, and how many times they could roll it over, and what level. You know, that'll be the record holder. But at that point, it's like, well, there's no end to it again. Um, so I think the true ending to everything, if there is going to be one, will be rolling it over to level 0 again. And again, congratulations to Blue Scuti. The achievement that he did, being the first, and I realized like 2 or 3 other people have done it besides Blue Scuti to this point. They still being the first, it's really like being Christopher Columbus and landing in America, or Leif Erikson, or whoever you want to say was the first one to do it, to discover America. It's like that kind of achievement. The first man to walk on the moon, it's on par with that, because there are not going to be very many people that can do that and get to a kill screen. Now, granted, there's more and more people that are trying to do that, and there's still more achievements yet to be done, especially the rolling over to the 0 level. I think that's really going to be the next major achievement, and maybe even the final major achievement for Tetris. Um, you know, yeah, but that, I mean, really, I was thinking about, what this compares to. I really have nothing to compare it to. And other users were saying they were tearing up watching this kid do it. And I kind of was myself. I mean, it brought back so many memories of just playing the game and the reaction of the kid when he does it is just amazing. I love it. It really is an achievement, and his reaction was on par with what it should be. Congratulations again, Blue Scuti. You did awesome job. Really, really, I watched the whole stream of that from the first block all the way through because, or at least I think that's how you post it. So that video was like 45 minutes or something like that. So I watched the whole thing. I recommend if you're a fan of gaming, or you know, even if you're a fan of almost impossible achievements, uh, go check it out. It's pretty amazing watching him do it. And then I also heard about. I'm just gonna mention this kind of as passing because I don't think it really warrants. I don't want to give really too much credit, but I do want to mention there was a news anchor on Sky News that completely belittled this kid for the achievement um, by saying something like, "Go outside and get some fresh air, kid." Uh, Completely bad take. Oh man, she's a piece of work. Not going to mention her by name. I really didn't even want to mention Sky News, except that I mean you can. It's everywhere out there right now. You're going to find out. You can even find out her name. But in the same news half hour segment that they produce, they're praising a darts player who is 16 years old, and I think somebody else that it's like it's so ridiculous the mindset of these people. Um, anyway, I didn't want to spend too much time on that. Just wanted to mention um, that was a thing that happened. It's unfortunate. Um, Hopefully, the news will learn its lesson from that. I doubt it. They don't seem to. They just keep pressing with the whatever they got. It's very strange to me, which is why a lot of those news agencies are dying. And it is expected that Sky News won't be around in about 5 years. They're going to go bankrupt and they'll be bought out by somebody else. So, but it's comments and things like that tank those people. Anyway, not rooting for that. I hope they learn their lesson, they pull out of it, change their ways, get better. Why didn't she go outside and get some air? It might do her brain some good. How about that? Anyway, um, yeah, that's all I got to say about that part of it. Let's move on and just forget about that. Probably shouldn't even have said that. Anyway, congratulations once again. This really is about Blue Scuti and his achievement and the Tetris. It really is. I keep thinking it's like walking on the moon, or maybe it's an elite player that you only see once, like Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods or um, maybe Tom Brady in that winning all of those Super Bowls, but I hesitate to include him in that for several reasons. Um, but I mean, this is just it's his achievement compared with what they did. It's not comparable. It's more comparable with walking on the moon because he was the first to do it, and there'll probably be only a couple dozen people who ever do it. And they were all competing to get that first kill screen. And the reason they knew about it was AI. It had only been achieved by artificial computer players prior to that. And that's how we know that 255 rolls over and becomes 0 again. It all has to do with memory and holding in that RAM, it's the RAM in the disk, because everything is based on 256, and so being 255 levels, you have 0, through 255, which makes that 256. And that's why it rolls back over. Anyway, you don't need a computer lesson from this guy. Yeah, just go check it out. I'll put a link below this video once I upload it and I get everything all together. Congratulations one final time to Blue Scuti. Amazing achievement and way to go, man. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for joining me on Glowing Card Gaming, and as always, be good to each other. I'll see you next time.